Forget I said that.
Yeah, I can bring my tablet with me. It's 8:45.
Yeah, I mean, I hit stream and then it takes a minute for it actually to start. There it goes. Hey. All right. I'm doing a live stream from the road. So hopefully everything works out. I don't have as much control over it as I usually do. But here we go. This is volume. You can hear it.
Yeah.
Oh, because this was all the way up and I couldn't hear shit. Oh, it stopped. Great. Okay. So yeah, we're gonna start. I'm just trying to make sure I get the chat up because it's hard to see the chat all the time. Oh, hi Oddfud. Hope you just sent that.
Yeah.
All right, let's go. Yeah, so today I thought we would draw some ghosts. Why is this not working? I shouldn't be focusing on this, but okay.
You can deal with that. I can deal with this.
Let's do some ghosts. Yeah, so I'm drawing at this desk. It's not, actually I have to move it. Hold, bear tight. Okay, in order to get enough light, I have to sort of sit in the closet. And in order to get underneath the desk, I have to like move it to here. But here we go. So I draw ghosts a lot. I really like I like the simpleness of you draw like a circle, you draw some shoulders, and then you just have the like sheet fall off of it, fall off the person. And there's something about like the sheet ghost that feels really good. And then, so I like a lot of like illustrations where you can hide the full person, the true person underneath. So I have an illustration, a greeting card I did that's very popular. It's a gnome, and then the gnome has a big beard. Oh, that looks great. Thank you. And the gnome has a big beard. And then like when you open the card on the inside, you can see the gnome's butt. And I feel like sheet ghosts are very similar. It's fun. You can have a reveal. There's almost a magic trick involved where like this, fine. Sheet ghost could be anything, could be a little kid, whatever. If you put like an arm out, I think that can be a little bit more interesting. But like what can you reveal here with the shoes? And the legs. And so like that can be something that reveals something extra. And so you have so I don't know, for this one, let's do I was going to do a high heel. So let's just do a high heel. And now this, like what could have been like a kid ghost, like a kid going trick-or-treating as a ghost, is now someone who's wearing 4-inch heels. And so you're pretty sure it's not a kid. And I guess tights. And I think like having this like unexpected or hidden section underneath can be really interesting. It's something I like to do a lot in my drawings. I find that whole process fascinating. And now like we can have, instead of instead of like a pumpkin or something, we can have, okay, I don't know, like a Louis Vuitton bag or some sort of purse. I'm not sure. I don't know what purses look like. So I did one yesterday. It's going to be out as a short sometime in October, where it's a ghost. Oh yeah, and I didn't add any of the detail, which I think really sells it. So I've failed everybody. But let me get that. Oh, hi, Rupan. Rupan. And then, yeah, see, we've added a little bit of detail, some folds in the sheet where the arm comes out. We'll give them a little hand. We can even add like fingies with a little nail polish or something to help resell the, that this is like some fancy lady trick-or-treating as a ghost. I don't know what the Louis Vuitton symbol looks like. I don't know what any of them look like, so I'm failing here, but it would look something like that. All right. So I'm trying to think if anyone's like suggestions. Let's do a different ghost. I would love that. Oh my gosh. I'm drawing on much smaller paper than I usually do. So I'm a little out of sorts. What we can do, so I was trying to do a dog ghost yesterday. I didn't really do great. So let's do like I did a hot dog ghost. I think that could be fun. So right now I'm just gonna like sketch out and we'll do a hole for the tail, and let's do a hole for the ears. So now this is where the sheet has to lie. So it's gonna like kind of group up here. And it can be different lengths. So on the front, when it's coming off, let's have that be a little bit shorter. All right, and let's erase some of the guidelines, the body parts that we put in there to just get it situated real quick. Do hot dogs have, well, it's fine. Yeah, so we're traveling. We've been gifted a car to use until we can buy our own, which is great. Very kind. Really good to have family that will do that for you. And we'll give him some eyes. And it's been like, it's not been inspected. And so it's been a little bit of trouble. We thought we would have the car today. I think everyone thought we would have the car today, but we did not. And so we're staying an extra night. We're going to try to go get it inspected and stuff tomorrow. Really wonderful. Oh, thanks for all the hearts. Let's give, yeah, so this is not as interesting, this one here, as I was hoping. It's a little bit sloppy. I mean, it just looks sloppy. I don't think the ghost making was sloppy. I like the lady much more. Oh, hi, Elstephant. Okay. The dog's bad. Yeah, but we can do all sorts of stuff. What's another ghost? Ah, this one will be fun. Let's do it a little bit from the side. Again, I'm just going to sketch out the basic shape. Let's do them a little hunched over. I think this is great. And then, yeah, there we go. We'll have it come up and come down just like that. What can be hard for me doing the ghosts is like, I want to follow the shape in, right? Because if you have some sort of shape like this, you kind of want to make this sheet follow it here. But once you get to this part, it has to go down, right? It has to fall down. You can have it go in a little bit, like that does happen, but you really want it to fall down. And it can be hard to make sure you really do that because like it's so tempting to just go the other way. I think we could do maybe like a zombie or something after this. If anyone has any if anyone has any spooky suggestions, I'm down to give them a try. So this one, I think it comes across, is somebody, oh here, let's do the cleanup a little bit. Yeah, so my lighting situation isn't great because I'm literally using a light from a closet to try to offset the bedroom light. The desk just doesn't really sit in a good place, but it's okay. I'm gonna be home tomorrow one way or another. Either we get the car inspected and we go home, or we take the train. I'll be home tomorrow and I'll have my setup again. And as long as it's not too crazy of a day, I'll be very excited to stream from home again. So I thought this would be fun. I'm trying to like make it come across as a like somebody on their cell phone, but underneath the ghost. So yeah, I would assume they're like, oh, I guess it would have to be more like this so they could actually see. Now I'm like, and the eyes would be up here. Let's see how that looks. Because they can't see the screen through the sheet, obviously. Come on, Chris. Do a Stella. Oh, hi, Daniel Nunez. I can do a Stella ghost. I draw character Stella, who's a little elephant. She's an elephant stuffy. I draw this cartoon, a little stuffy elephant cartoon for my wife every day. And this is one of the characters. So I think like you can read that it's a cell phone less, but I think this is more accurate. But that's not that great. It's not bad. Like the eyes are up here, but the guy's face is down here. I'm looking at a cell phone. All right. So here's Stella the elephant. I'll draw her real quick so you guys get an idea. She's a little elephant, a stuffy elephant that I draw. Oh, that was a little weird. I draw her every day. She gets into crazy adventures and it mostly mirrors our lives. So like yesterday we went to a wedding. So Stella went to the wedding and she also like celebrated, right? Really good, really nice. I did it. My wife was having depression. I don't mean to like get into it. And so I started drawing these so that there was something for her to look forward to every day. And it was just something I could do to try to wrest control from everything that felt uncontrollable in my life. And I'm like really getting into it. I don't usually talk about this stuff. Wrest control. Like I felt like I was out of control. And one thing I could do was draw a comic every day. Ah, yes. See, if this had color, I was thinking about that whole time. Like if we could make this a glowing rectangle, then like and have this be all glowing and then the rest of it be this like just plain white or even like a darker gray against a black background and maybe even have the eyes like shooting out some glowing. I think I think you could really make this read as a cell phone in color. I am not going to try to do that in black and white and pencil. Maybe with maybe I'll put it on a computer. I'll try it again as like a short or something when I can sit down and really take my time with it. But so this is Stella. Yeah, and she just gets into crazy adventures. Um, yeah, she's like a kid. Here's her from the side. And she did not look like this when I started. She looked more like, and she's a stuffed animal. She's, even in the cartoon, she's a stuffed animal. Um, but as I drew her every single day, along with her sister, Steffi, she got simpler and simpler, but also more and more expressive, which I think happens to a lot of cartoons. All right, so that's Stella. Say hi, Stella. Hi. All right, so let's do a Stella ghost. No, we have a little bit of space here. Do bum, ba, bum. Oh, I'm drawing her a little small, I guess. So probably her ears would not hold up the whole ghost sheet, so they would be pushed down, and her shoulders would be there. And then she's definitely putting her arms out. So let's have her arms coming out. Okay, and she has a trunk, so the trunk has to come out. Now, having something come out forward is a little bit more difficult. It's something I struggle with anyway, but I think we'll get it, no problem. All right, so now let's get rid of some of the like guidelines. I think we have our general shape. And we can start drawing Stellafant Ghost. Stella the elephant, stuffy ghost. All right. Oh yeah, I forgot the trunk. And then we'll do her legs are like here and here. And then there's like a back sheet that you don't always have to draw, but I think we'll draw here. And we'll give the back sheet just like a slightly darker because it's in shadow. Ah, Z99. Thank you, Oddfud. I don't know what happened. I guess I looked away at just the right time. All right. So this would be Stella the ghost. All right, let's do something besides ghosts. Like I said, I did a cactus ghost yesterday and I really liked it, but this is not sparking joy, as Marie Kondo would say. Marie Kwan or Marie Kondo? Kondo, right? All right, so whenever you draw a ghost and you draw the like eyes inside of it, right? If you draw a ghost and you have the sheet, the head of the sheet or whatever, and then you draw the eye holes, totally fine. This looks normal. When you blacken them, it looks like a little bit less normal. It looks a little creepy. But if you draw like eyes in them, I think the eyes look super creepy. I think this is the creepiest version of all. Let's see. Get your head out. Is there any classic movies that like you just don't think you're ever going to see, or like you have no interest in? I don't know. So we watched The Graduate last night, or not last night, whenever it was, and it was much better than I expected. I had heard it was good, but you hear that about so many movies, right? And so like it doesn't mean anything after a while, right? Like, oh, it's good. Okay, yeah, everything's good. But The Graduate really it was referenced by so many other things. So like I knew a lot of the movie just because I had seen a lot of the references. I didn't know the movie, but there was so many things when I watched the movie that I was like, "Oh, this is where that's from." And like that's such a strange. So sometimes when you're watching a movie, right? You're like this is so tired. It's so trite. It's like, this is exactly what every movie of this genre is like. Why would I watch it? It's just like so by the numbers, so straightforward. And, but that's because it's like, it started it, right? But because it was so popular and it starts this whole thing and everyone's copying it, that movie is less good because of that. But this movie, The Graduate, even though there was so many things that I was like, oh my God, is this where this comes from? Like I've seen this referenced so often. The movie didn't suffer for it. Like it was still a very good movie. It helps that while the plot is good and interesting, what really helps is so I thought this one, what could be funny about this one is like you see it's obviously a person, but then like it could be it could just end. And that's what could be funny. Like there's a head under there, but then there's not anything else. It could just be like on a stand or something. So this is what I mean when I say I like to do ghost drawings because by hiding part of something, and you have to tell a story just with the little tiny bits that you can see. And like I think this particular illustration tells a very interesting story. And this is actually, I think the eyes don't look as creepy as I thought they would. They do look creepy, and I think it really helps sell how I think it's good for this illustration because this is inherently creepy, right? You have like eyes underneath a sheet on some sort of stand. Yeah, I wonder if the same thing happens for, this is good. I like this one a lot. Okay, I'm going to start thinking about something to actually draw because I'm kind of going, well, let's figure out like what would a very, I'm trying to think like if this is a woman's head, like what would a man's head look like underneath a sheet? Like pretty much the same, right? Like, what do you put a giant beard sticking out the bottom? The eyes are like more eyeball, like more masculine. I don't think you get something. What you could do, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to have the sheet end much higher, right? And I guess these are less ghosts now, and they're more just like creepy curios. But yeah, I'm going to have the sheet end much higher. We'll still put the eyes in the same spot, basically. We can make the eyes a little bit, no, we'll just keep them pretty much the same. Oh, I wanted to do this before where there was like a fold that ran through the eye hole. And you just have to be a little bit careful, a little bit more. There we go. And so like the eye hole won't be perfectly circular. I guess also these are like cut out, so they probably wouldn't be perfectly circular like anyway. Who's cutting these out? Do you think they're cutting perfect circles every time? Oh, hello, Melon. That's a great name, great avatar. That's good. All right. And so then we'll have underneath, we'll have a big beard. I was talking about a beard, but this, and then we'll have the beard. The sheet will come down. It kind of rests on the beard. Give it a little shadow. And we'll do like hairy eyebrows. And I'll have the eyes be like too low. You can't even see them. Like they're off center. Like something's messed up here. But I like it. It's on purpose. It's like a Dutch angle. You want it to be wrong because it's wrong. Like what is going on? And then I'll just do the stand also. $10 for watching the UFO machine. Oh, I don't know what that is. Was I like accidentally streaming? Or just here on YouTube? All right. Oh my gosh. I'm always afraid that like I set up the stream wrong or something like that. Now, especially because I'm setting it up while traveling. It's like all weird. Oh, gosh. So sorry. I think one of those times, that's great. I appreciate it. Yeah. We, yeah, the, gosh, what is it called? Tardigrades. Yeah, this has been maybe the busiest 2 weeks of my life. Yeah. We moved And then we traveled to a wedding. We've had some family drama. Our moving was dramarific. I'm having a good day. I am. Oh no, yeah. Our moving, like one of our movers didn't show, so we were like moving our stuff upstairs into the middle of the night. Uh, yeah, yeah. And then the car, we were supposed to have a car, now we don't. It's too much. I don't want to. But I am having a nice day. Thank you so much. That's why I stream. I like streaming. It really like it makes me feel better. Yeah, these I I'm happy with this, but I think it's creepy. I'm gonna write his on her and hers on his. This is spooky. This is Halloween spooky, I think. Let's see. I want to do more Halloween spooky. I'm trying to think what I'm trying to think like what would be an interesting mummy thing. You can't have a ghost who's a mummy. That doesn't really work. Wait, you could. So, okay, so very basic mummy, right? We get the head ball. We get the shoulder. I feel like mummy's shoulders are always like really far back. And like, are their heads smaller than usual? I feel like they are because they're like shrunken. And then the outward arm, I'm just like drawing a full mummy. The dropped hand, the other outward arm, but we won't care about that. That's not really going to affect what we're doing here. The like body, and then the walkie legs. Mummies are always walking, right? Like that's what's so scary about mummies is they just don't stop. Like they're not fast. They're usually not like super strong, but you're never going to be able to stop them and they are not ever going to stop chasing you. It's sort of like, have you guys heard like you get X amount of money, but there is like an African great slug who is traveling the world trying to kill you, and if he catches you, you die, right? Like, do you take the money? That's the question. Like, is it worth it? It's just a thought experiment slash game, and people come up with all sorts of so like subgenres of it. Like, oh, can you? I forgot to give this mummy hips. Shakira would hate me. So he's like a little bit shorter than he should be. So that's okay. We'll just lengthen it. There we go. That's much better. And so people are like, okay, yes, I would do it. Like so the slug can go underwater. Like it can always get to you. There's not a place on Earth that it couldn't reach. But that doesn't mean like it can't necessarily get into like bunkers or anything like that. But like it will find a way to like get into a house or something. So it's an interesting thought. Like what like is it actually worth it? Probably not. I mean, that depends. That's the whole point of the game. So okay. So I think having the arm up would definitely like lift the sheet pretty high up. Okay, I think this is good. We got the sheet. It's got some good twists and turns in it to make it look a little bit more organic. That will probably connect there. Okay, we have the back sheet. So let's quick gray out the back sheet so we know it's the back sheet. Oh, thanks for the hearts. And let's get the eraser. So this is my like spared down very basic drawing kit and like interrupting the drawing, but I usually have also a little like pink eraser, but I just forgot it, I guess, or I used it up. I don't know. But this is the absolute minimum for me. extra lead because I go through the mechanical pencil lead so fast, a mechanical pencil and a mechanical eraser. And I also have refills for the mechanical eraser and paper. This is my, it should be my everyday carry. But yeah, I'm missing my large eraser, which would make short work of this. In my illustrations, I often use a lot. I draw a lot of stuff that is never meant to be seen. It's just going to be erased. I think, if you do any art classes, there's lots of things they will tell you to do, like that they'll tell you to do that for. So like the main one, right, is if you have like somebody's arm and it goes behind a pole, or even you have like a plant, a tree branch, and it grows behind a pole, don't draw to here, stop, and then start over here and draw. Just draw through. Because what you'll end up doing is you'll accidentally move it right or left or up or down. And if you had just drawn through, you wouldn't have done that. So actually here, I tried to move it a little bit lower on purpose. And this is the one I drew without. And now drawn through, I would put it up here. And you can just erase it after. So especially with your sketches, just draw through. Unless you're using, I guess, like a marker or something. If you're doing that, what I do, because sometimes I draw with markers or stuff. So if I'm doing something like that, what I will do is I won't draw through, but I will like lift it just off the paper and sort of pretend I'm drawing through. And that helps. All right, so I feel like there's going to be a little bit of bunching here. Oh yeah, and then this is the shoulder. So let's get a little bit of that there. Okay, that's the back sheet. Okay, yeah, I think the sheet, you want enough detail that like it looks like a sheet, but you don't want so much, like you're not drawing a study on cloth, right? And I feel like if you get too detailed, you'll move away from people expecting it to be cartoony, and you'll get into people expecting it to be realistic. And then if you go too far into the detail, it'll stop looking good because it doesn't look realistic enough. And if you stay on this side of the detail, then it'll always look cartoony and it won't matter that it doesn't look super realistic. All right, and then since it's a mummy, we'll have some mummy parts. What is this called? Papyrus? What did Egyptians wrap their mummies with? I guess just cloth, papyrus. It's not something I ever really thought about. This mummy fabric. Okay, random fact about mummies. So ground up mummy was used as a medicine in Victorian times, I want to say, in England, and probably around the world, but definitely in England. And it was also used as a brown pigment for paintings. So like on some of the like modern paintings that are really famous, you will have mummy just like smeared across there. And it just feels so crazy to me, like that was thought of as morally acceptable. Like people were, well, not entirely. There were definitely people who were unhappy with it. We've lost a lot of the Egyptian mummies. So first of all, also mummies were not just wealthy people. There were a lot of mummies, or like pharaohs. There were a lot of mummies. Like tons and tons of people were mummified in ancient Egypt and buried all over the place. It used to be said you couldn't dig a hole without disturbing a grave in certain parts of Egypt. So to do the mummy wrap, I try to make it interesting by varying the width a little bit. And then I also sometimes will just throw in one that's like sidewards. And then every once in a while, I'll also like do a loose one with other tight ones underneath. I assume like they're double wrapped. And I think this can come across. Let's see, we have this like scribble here from something else before. We'll turn that inspires me to do like a little bit of mummy cloth hanging out from here. The crazy thing about this mummy who's pretending to be a ghost is before he died and was mummified, he was a vampire. So there's no good way to show that. So, and then for this look like mummy, just add some horizontal lines across the to make it look like cloth. Otherwise, it doesn't really look right. That's not a bad one. All right. We can do Casper. Yeah, we'll just do. I was thinking about doing Casper with a sheet, but that he does that, I think, in one of the comics or maybe the movie. But yeah, Casper the Friendly Ghost. I feel like that's relatively well. Let's see. I feel like it's relatively straightforward, but I have not drawn him ever before. I feel like he's like moon faced, not moon faced, like big circle head, no, no ears. Okay, I have no idea. I'm just drawing like an old man with a really long beard. Little arms. I do a stream on the computer usually, and no hands, right? So like this is probably close. No, he doesn't have shoulders, does he? And then he's like, "I'm a friendly ghost. Hi." Okay. So I do a live stream where I will draw cartoons from memory, and in that one I explain that I don't really have a visual imagination or visual memory. And this is just, I was born with it. I just have never had, like, I cannot envision things in my head. I cannot make a picture appear in my brain. And so it's really hard for me to draw like gosh, I'm trying to make the website work here again. It's really hard for me to like draw a cartoon character, anyone from my memory. Yeah, so they will come out like really terrible compared to what they actually look like. And then I'll compare it to what they actually look like. So what does Casper actually look like? Okay, okay. I see. So let's do Casper. He does have like a giant cartoon head. So I was right about that. Oh, like I'm reaching in order to draw. It's a strange. He has big cheeks. Hi, Elstefan. And a little chin, giant cartoon eyes. You know, he kind of reminds me of, I wonder if it's from the same era. Like if he was created around the same time, like Donald Duck or just a lot of like, or other like Chuck Jones characters. That's pretty good. This is what he looks like. Here we go. Was there a Casper the Friendly Ghost cartoon? I think there was. I don't think I liked it as a kid. Or did he show up in Scooby-Doo? Like, I liked the character of Casper the Friendly Ghost, although I got a little confused. Like, in my mind, he was like linked to Richie Rich for some reason. I think in one of the movies, the Casper movies or something, he was a rich kid, or he was played by an actor who played Richie Rich. I don't know. Okay, and then he's basically just like give him a belly, and then give him no legs, give him a tail, and give him regular arms. Oh, what's that? Oh, Fatima. And like very cartoon arms, like no elbows. I mean, yeah, no elbows. Yeah, that's how I feel like it's Richie Rich who died and became a ghost. I don't know why. Like, I'll have to look into it because I bet you there's some link. Like I said, maybe like the actor played him, or maybe are they both like subsidiaries of Archie Comics and like the drawing style is similar, or I don't know. Oh my gosh. I just threw my pencil off the front of my desk and it's in the closet. I have to crawl under the desk to get it. Hang on. Maybe I can squeeze back. Okay. All right. It's getting on. I haven't been going for that long, but it's uncomfortable here. So I'm going to draw. What? I'm going to draw, I don't know, maybe a pumpkin as a ghost. It doesn't really work. Oh, yeah, like a ghost jack-o'-lantern. It's just a pumpkin wearing a sheet. This is bad. I'm about to ghost you and just stop the stream. Oh, hey, your local weirdo. How are you doing? I'm trying to draw a jack-o'-lantern as a ghost. It's not going great. I drew a bunch of ghosts. I drew some things I really like a mummy that's a ghost. These two heads that have sheets on them like ghosts. Actually, I only drew a couple of things I really like. This little elephant character as a ghost. These ghosts. All right. Where am I at? Let's go. Okay. Back to this jack-o'-lantern ghost. So that's the stem. And we'll have the sheet here coming down. This will be the pumpkin underneath. And it will leave like some actual pumpkin underneath. Because I think like, so the sheet doesn't go all the way to the floor. And then we'll have these big, like, big eye holes cut out. So we can show the triangle cutouts of the pumpkin's eyes. Of the jack-o'-lantern's eyes. Yeah, so this is I really like thinking about like the ways that the sheet hiding whatever's underneath can make the illustration more interesting. And so I think this really qualifies, right? You have like the the pumpkin skin is orange. You have like the glow of the jack-o'-lantern lights in the eyes, and then you have this like why who would do this? I think you can tell it's a jack-o'-lantern. Oops, I think this sheet is not falling right. There we go. I think this eye is not big enough. Yeah. Has anyone ever, so we went to a wedding recently. Oh, you could do like a bride as a ghost, right? So we went to a wedding yesterday, and I was just wondering, like, what's your favorite thing? If anyone feels like typing, I would appreciate like what's your favorite thing from a wedding? I don't this wedding mascots like the bridesmaids hired mascots from the from a major league baseball team. Sorry, American League. I guess that's the majors. And they showed up to dance for like the last hour at the wedding, and it like crazy. Like not my favorite thing, but pretty cool. Definitely the most different thing I've ever seen at a wedding. So I think, yeah, I like this. I think it reads as a jack-o'-lantern. I think you could do some more stuff, like maybe having the sheet kind of fall to the ground. I think there's some interesting ways to go here. Oh, I'm too low. I can't see my stream and the chat at the same time. So I get a little turned around. Every now and then I'll get a little bit older. All right. Yeah, so I do think there's some interesting stuff you can do with this pumpkin. I mean, this jack-o'-lantern. So I know like ghosts historically or iconically, you just have the two eyes cut into it. But I'm always tempted to do like a mouth and have it be like, I don't know, like something. I don't know why it doesn't really make sense, right? Like why that's not scary. Like then you know it just doesn't look right. It looks weird. It looks goofy, right? You have the nose and then you'd have like the mouth. And then even if it's cut, okay, we're trying it out. We're going for it. Yeah, so I can't think of anything else. At my wedding, we did like some unconventional things, some non-traditional things, and I liked all of that. But of course I did. It's my wedding, um, and I really get along with the person I got married to. So, you know, we chose similar things that we both really like. And yeah, so I guess I haven't been to that many weddings. I went to one wedding and they had a photo booth, and that was pretty cool. But that's like everything in like 2010. There was a photo booth. So that's probably not that unique. I heard of a wedding. Wait, no, I went to a wedding where there was Polaroid cameras and the guests could take Polaroid cameras and like take photos and then leave them with notes. And like that was the guest book. And that was pretty cool. I think the mascots are going to really stick with me. It's pretty crazy. The wedding party, the wedding band played Hot to Go, and I thought I would be able to dance to it, but I just kept messing it up. Embarrassingly. Because it feels like, oh, I'll definitely be able. I like it's so I can do it at home. That's what it's like. And then like when it's all happening, I'm just discombobulated, discoordinated. The nose had to get in there because I made the cut of this too high to not do the nose. But I think that works. Yeah, so like it doesn't look scary or creepy, but it definitely looks like sad. Like I think it's a little uneven. I'll pull it over to the right a little bit, but like I was thinking with the mouth, like it would look like weird, and it does look weird. This does not feel like a normal ghost. But it doesn't feel like weird creepy. It feels like weird sad, which I was not expecting. All right, I'm trying to think of anything else weird I can do with a ghost's whatever. Ghost sheet. No. All right. Let's just draw. Ow. Hmm. What if you had the devil and the devil went as a ghost? Let's do that, and then I think I'll call it. Okay. Yeah, this is hopefully the last day of traveling. We have some packages that are being delivered tomorrow, so it'd be real good if we were there. So they're not just sitting out in the stairwell unattended. So I'm just going to draw a little face, and then the devil. Yeah, there we go. And then so this will be interesting because the sheet will fall sort of over the horns, right? And then it'll still hit his shoulders. Let's make the devil a little bit broad-shouldered, a little buff. Oh, I know. We'll do also this. Let's see. Now I think it's total eclipse of the heart because I said turn around. That's crazy. Like you say one friggin' word and your brain's like, you got it, boss. A song you don't know, I will play 15 milliseconds of a song you don't know on repeat until I forget that that's what I'm doing to you. Okay, something we can do with the pitchfork that I think will make it fun is the pitchfork can have ripped through the sheet. All right, that'll be a little tear, some tears in the sheet. And that means I'll have to make the top of the pitchfork look a little bit nicer, but I like it. Turn around. Oh my God. Bright eyes, Sarah, now and then, I can't, I shouldn't, I know like YouTube can hear a melody. It can hear the melody you have in your heart and then take the copyright money from you. Okay, I think, oh, we'll make it because he's lifting his arm and the thing, we'll make this side a little bit shorter. So it'll come down a little like that. And then we'll assume he has like, you know, pecs and stuff. We'll do that. Make this a little, yep, okay. And then let's just pull this up a little bit, get something interesting down here. Okay. And I'll do, well, he has legs, right? Probably about, oh, they should be goat's legs. It's only this little bit, so it does not matter. All right, let's get quick on the erase, get the guidelines gone so we can actually start working on what it'll look like without the X-ray vision. Again, I usually have a bigger, oh, I forgot. We'll have the pitchfork. You can also see the bottom of that. So that'll come here. And then like, you know, if we were coloring this or I had colored pencils or something, we can make that red so it like you can see what it is and it connects. But maybe we'll do some shading on it so you can see it. Just like I've never, pitchforks probably don't really have this kind of like big spike. They're probably just like sharpened bits of steel. They probably, yeah, like what are these like fluted spikes for? It's not flute. I guess it's, I don't know what fluted means. I'll admit it. You caught me. I think I meant flared or flanged. Oh, that looks pretty good. I want to kind of make the tear a little bit. I'll have that. I don't know, I'm experimenting. I haven't really drawn torn tears in the sheets before. Oh yeah. And then like, is it bunched up? Yeah, must be. Okay, that actually is starting to look right. There's a little bit of bunching here. All right, I think it's time to erase the guidelines for the horns. Oh, one of the horns could poke through. That probably would have been better than the pitchfork, if I'm honest. Because then, yeah, whatever. Sorry it's taking so long to erase the guidelines. I don't have I'm on travel duty, so I don't have my solid eraser, my good eraser. If I do this again, I will do no tear in the pitchfork. I'm going to do a tear in the horn still. I'll just emphasize that with some like pulls in the fabric. There we go. And you'll have some pulls regular anyway. So I draw these pretty frequently, and I don't try to make them look very realistic because I think that can cause like it can break your suspension of disbelief because you're like, wait, that's not good. um, but you know, I still try to get how fabric falls correctly and stuff. I think that's important. Okay, I just thought it would be funny or like to have the eye holes look evil. All right, I think that's fun. The devil dresses as a ghost. We'll turn this into a goat leg. If we did this, if I did this again, I would make this leg go all the way out. So you could see that it was actually a ghost leg. And I think color would really benefit this one because this little tip would like of horn would be red. And then this, you could make this red or yeah, or you could do it like a cool black, like a slightly blue black, which is what I do for steel a lot of the time. I think it looks, I'm just going to take the flutes off. I think if it got torn by the flute, then it would be all the way down because that it would have to fit over this flute. So the holes would be too big or flange or whatever it is. And so the holes would be too big and they wouldn't like catch and stop it here. They would just be all the way down at the bottom of the pitchfork. And that was bothering me. So I'm just going to erase them. Yeah, and then the sheet could be like a yellow white. And these could be just like white, the eye holes like really blank. Or, you know, I guess a light red or bright red, or we could experiment and see what it looks like. I think that's fun. The devil dresses up as a ghost for Halloween. Boo. All right. I'm going to do just a two-panel comic I just thought of. I'm going to do, and then I really should get off. I started a little late. We had a really long day, but I just thought it'd be fun to do a stream. I was going to do a stream about ghosts the other day, sort of like a brainstorming session. And I think it worked today. I like having the devil. I think that's really fun. I got to see that if you do like a mouth hole and do lips, it looks really strange. But I thought it would look creepier. But it just looks like kind of weird and kind of sad, which is great. Like it's good to know. Like what an interesting, like there's something there, right? To draw like a ghost with like lipstick. And so I was thinking you have the eye holes, right? So you can tell where they're looking. You can mostly see through sheets, right? So are the eye holes really just there to see where, so you can see where they're looking? Okay, so the first panel, you have one ghost coming up on another ghost. The other ghost is looking off into the distance, contemplating. This ghost can be a girl ghost. They could both be girl ghosts. Doesn't matter. And then this ghost is like, hey, boo. That's cute, right? Because ghosts say boo. And he's saying hi. He's feeling in love. Second panel. This is fun. Like, because these are real ghosts and not people dressing up as ghosts, I get to be a little bit more expressive. I don't have to abide by any of the rules of logic or reality, right? So you can, for example, their eyes in the beginning, I could have made, instead of drawing these hearts, I could have maybe made the eyes hearts. Um, and then here, right, like, he's surprised. The left ghost is surprised. So his eyes get really big, which you like can't do if you're trying to stick to reality. And I find it's really fun to try to stick to reality sometimes, but I think it's also, for me, really important and really enjoyable to draw cartoons and let cartoon logic exist and happen and be a thing in your it can be really fun. It can be like experimental. See where your drawing takes you. It can help, for me, it can really help my imagination to just like let it be a cartoon. It doesn't need to be reality. It can be its own reality. That's it. That's the joke for me. He comes up and he says, hey, boo. And she goes, ah! We can make it clear. Like, I think this is a little bit ambiguous on this side. So I think to make it a little bit better, we bring him just a little bit higher. So he is floating, so you know he's a real ghost. Although I think the joke still works if you think he's a person and she's a real ghost. But as I said before, let's also try making his eyes hearts. Nope, doesn't work. There it is. All right. I'm going to get out of here. It was great streaming today. But I got to go. Oh. Thanks for coming in. I will be, if not streaming tomorrow, I should be streaming the next day. It's always a blast. And I'll have like an actual theme, or I'll actually do something, and I should be at my regular setup, so it'll be better quality, easier, more light. Thanks again. Bye.